Today, we are going to learn about the different members of a family, and a little later, we will learn the difference between have, got and have got. Let's start with the members of a family. Let's look at this picture. This is a picture of a very well-known family. Do you recognize these people? Let's take a moment. You must have seen them somewhere. Any guesses? This is a picture of the British royal family. With this picture, we are going to learn the different members of a family. Let's start with the little girl on the right. This is Charlotte. She has two brothers, George and Louis. They are her brothers, and she is their sister. The three of them are siblings. This is her mother, Catherine, and this is her father, William. Now they are her parents. The three of them are their children. Charlotte is their daughter, and Louis and George are their sons. This is her grandfather, Charles, and her grandmother, Camilla. They are her grandparents. Now the parents of her grandparents are her great-grandparents. Now they aren't in this picture, but they are her great-grandmother and her great-grandfather. This is Harry, William's brother. He is Charlotte's uncle. This is Harry's wife, Meghan. She is Charlotte's aunt. So Harry is Charlotte's uncle and Meghan is Charlotte's aunt. Now let's recap the members of the family that we learnt. This is Charlotte. Louis and George are her brothers. Catherine is her mother and William is her father. Charles is her grandfather and Camilla is her grandmother. Harry is her uncle and Meghan is her aunt. Now, let's look at some more members of the family from Charles' perspective. Now, Charles is Charlotte's grandfather. Let's see how he is related to the other members of the family. Harry is Charles' son, and Harry's wife Meghan is his daughter-in-law because she entered the family by marrying Harry. In the same way, William is Charles' son, and William's wife Catherine is also his daughter-in-law. If Charles had a daughter and she was married, her husband would be his son-in-law. Now, let's see how William, Harry, Meghan and Catherine are related. Now we all know that William and Harry are brothers. So Harry's wife Meghan is William's sister-in-law. Similarly, William is Meghan's brother-in-law. Now Catherine is Harry's sister-in-law and Harry is Catherine's brother-in-law. Now Charles is their father-in-law and Camilla is their mother-in-law. We say in-law when people become family by marriage. Now let's look at the different in-laws that we learnt. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, son-in-law and daughter-in-law. Do you know the difference between niece, nephew and cousin? Let's break this down. Charlotte is Harry's niece. His brother's daughter is his niece. So Harry's brother's son would be his nephew. Can you guess who Harry's nephews are? They are Louis and George. They are his nephews, and Charlotte is his niece. Now, who is a cousin? Recently, Meghan and Harry had a baby boy called Archie. Now, George, Louis, and Charlotte are his cousins. Now, let's look at the different members of the family that we just learnt. Now, as I say these words, I want you to repeat them. Brother, sister, siblings, father, mother, parents, husband, wife, son, daughter, children, grandson, granddaughter, grandchildren, grandfather, grandmother, grandparents, great-grandfather, great-grandmother, great-grandparents, uncle, aunt, father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, nephew, niece, cousin. That's about it. We've summed all the members of the family. Now it's time for a short quiz. Let's see if you get these answers right. Let's go to the first question. The father of my uncle is my blank. Who is the father of your uncle? Now your uncle is your father's brother, which means they have the same father. So your uncle's father is also your father's father, which is your grandfather. So the right answer would be grandfather. The mother of my sister is my blank. Who is my sister? Who is my sister's mother? My sister and I have the same mother. So the answer would be mother. The mother of my sister is my mother. The next one, my brother's daughter is my blank. Now we learned this when we spoke about Harry and Charlotte. Who is Charlotte to Harry? He is his brother's daughter. So your brother's daughter is your niece. My grandfather's father is my blank. Who is my grandfather? It's my father's father. So my grandfather's father would be my great-grandfather. If I marry a woman, I am her. So when we learnt about the royal family, we saw that Catherine was the wife and William was her husband. So the answer is husband. If my son marries a woman, she is my... So who is my son's wife? She would be my daughter-in-law because she comes into the family by marrying my son. So the answer is daughter-in-law. My uncle's son is my blank. Who is my uncle's son? My uncle is my father's brother. So his son would be my cousin. So my uncle's son is my cousin. Now who is my cousin's mother? My cousin's mother is my blank. Who is my cousin's mother? Is she my mother? Is she my aunt? Or is she my sister? Now who is my cousin first? It is my mother's sister's daughter. So my cousin's mother would be my mother's sister, which is my aunt. So my cousin's mother is my aunt. My grandfather and my grandmother are my blank. What do you call it when you put your grandfather and grandmother in one term? Are they your parents? No. Are they your great-grandparents? Definitely not. They are your grandparents. We've come to the last question. My father's son is my blank. Who is my father's son? So my father's son and I have the same father. So my father's son is my brother. Now that was wonderful. We've come to the end of this quiz, and I'm sure you're thorough with all the members of the family by now.